Join me as I make my version of a Middle Eastern dinner. So let's start with this tzatziki first because we want it to marinate while everything else cooks. So what you saw me do is shred some cucumbers right here, and I was putting salt in it to draw the water out. And the next thing here is I took about a cup of Greek yogurt and a couple teaspoons of sour cream, some chopped parsley and mint, and added to it. And I didn't have any fresh dill, and I was not going to the store, so I used a dried dill. Those are the cucumbers that you saw me shred and soak for about 20 minutes in salt to draw most of the water out. And here I'm shredding some garlic. And let me tell you something, I'm not gonna hold myself with this tzatziki sauce. I did pretty good for the first time. Squeezed a little lemon juice in there and mix. It was really good. The only thing I would say that I would do different is add less parsley. It wasn't bad, but I think the parsley could have been a little bit overpowering. I was tasting it for seasoning. That plastic cup back there is where I stuck the spoon in that I ate out of to make sure I didn't use it again. Need a little bit more salt. Mix. And yeah, let's clean this bowl up and get it in the refrigerator, because the thing that I not read online, but saw people doing, is that they would make their tzatziki sauce first, look at it, and put it in the refrigerator and let it sit while everything else is cooking out. Let's do these turkey kebabs. I used a little bit of different recipes that I saw. No one particular recipe. Like I said, I use recipes as a guide. I also took that red onion and put in that like little grater thing. So what you saw me doing here was trying to squeeze, get the red onions out without adding all the water to the ground turkey. So yeah, right there, that is red onion that I put in there. Green onion, that's the tops and the bottom. And a little bit of yellow bell pepper. And actually also, what I had put in there is some green bell pepper. Yeah, I was about to get confused for a minute in what I put in there. So once I added all of the veggies in there, that's just me stacking up everything. And you'll see the seasonings that I used. That looked like that was garlic powder. I tried to season the meat with a little bit of celery salt. Y'all, thank God I didn't go too heavy on that, because I thought that was celery powder or onion powder. I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't realize until later on that it was celery salt. And so, yeah, and garlic salt. What was wrong with me? And I was trying not to add a lot of salt, and that smoked paprika. But yeah, it was not salty at all. So, because I'm not heavy on the seasoning anyway. That's a little bit of turmeric. So I saw in some videos people didn't use turmeric, some they did. This was another controversial ingredient, cumin. But hey, my thing with recipes is use the flavors that you like and what's appealing to you. A little bit of salt, not too heavy on that salt. Ooh, no. And then here, some grated black pepper. And so that's what I was doing right there. I was just sitting there. And then I decided at the 9th hour, let's add a little spice to it. Kick it up a notch. So I used a little bit of crushed red pepper. Mix. And so another thing that I saw on a video was to add an egg. I forgot the egg in the beginning, and I really should have mixed that egg up before adding it. I was fighting for my life trying to get the egg. Because of the egg, it made the meat really loose. I was like, Lord, I need to cut up so much seasoning and ingredients. We just gonna have to work this thing out. And you see, I had to work with that meat for a while. But then I thought about, hey, just try and get it to stick the best you can on the skewer, and then place it in the freezer for about 15 minutes or so to let it get a little stiff. And so that's what I did here. And it was at this point I said, forget these skewers for the, not skewers, skewers for the rest. And so I put that in a little ball and I put those in the freezer. And after it came out of the freezer, what you saw was how it looked on the grill. And now let's go ahead and get this broccolini going. So that's a little bit of red onion, some garlic sauteed. Look at that garlic popping like it's popcorn. Just getting the stove all dirty. So this was washed broccolini, seasoning it with onion powder, garlic powder, and I use a little bit of Tony Chachere's. And I think I also put just a little bit of salt. Look at me throw that butter up in there to give it a nice little, saute flavor. And so here are the kebabs after being on the grill. We put them on those pita bread. That is rice with turmeric in it, cooked in my rice cooker because I told y'all before I don't know how to cook rice. And these are that's like that Jerusalem salad, I believe is what they call it. That's the homemade Tzatziki. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.